Hey, chickadees. Welcome into today's episode of Mojo Mysticism. A brand new week, and we'll see what the guides have for us. So this week we're going to pull from Divine Abundance by Tasha Silver, and we'll see. It's been an interesting couple of weeks, so we'll see what we get today. Okay. 2 are already out. And there's the third. Okay. Easy peasy. Okay. All right. So I think we're going back through the cycle again. Apparently we didn't get the message. So the first card we got is letting go. And this card says, everything is indeed out of control and God will hold it all. I can safely let go. Letting go. And then the second card is Reframe, and this says, this is happening for me, not to me. Reframe. And our third card is Gratitude. This says, fill me with gratitude for all you give. May I be a vehicle for you wherever I go. Gratitude. And the message, again, we're going around the cycle again. So this is really, it just amazes me how we continue. Like everything, I'm seeing patterns in every single thing in my life. I'm seeing patterns in everything, period, and cycles. And there's going to be a lot more coming out on this channel in the not too distant future, later this year. We'll probably change up the whole, our whole programming, so to speak, to really focus more on a conversation about some things that are coming up. So, but we need a little more time before we do that. So in the meantime, I'm just taken aback at how these cycles continue to just evolve and we go around them over and over again. We're not at the same point though. Every time we go through a cycle, we are at a different point because we have had learnings and experiences that we've taken with us. So it's not like we're just on a flat merry-go-round. It's not like that. So all right, so the message they have for us today is, especially in the letting go, which was when I turned that over, I was like, oh, here we are again. But it's talking about acknowledging that yes, everything is out of control, right? So if you're in this place where things feel like they're a little wonky, that's a technical term here in the mid-south of the U.S., but if they feel off kilter or they feel a little out of control, it's because they are. And we're not supposed to be in control of those. So acknowledging that, yes, everything seems out of control, or in this specific area, things are out of control, is the first step. And then saying, I'm going to turn it over because I know that the universe, whatever name you put on it, God, all that is, source, is going to allow things to unfold beautifully in a way that supports me. And that moves into the second card, the Reframe card, right? Oftentimes when things happen to us, our first knee-jerk reaction is it's happening to me, right? I mean, I even just said it. Things happen to us, right? It's not really what happens. We experience things and we frame it as happening to us, right? That it's been something that's been thrown in our direction, right? And that's not the case. It really is happening for us. And if we can make that shift in our perception, our lives will go much easier. So at least that's what I found. The 2 or 3 times I was able to make that shift. So the reframing and that step of it is really important because it gives us space to then insert gratitude, right? If something's happening to you, you're just defensive, right? You're just on the defense. So you're dodging bullets or, hopefully not real bullets, but you're dodging what's coming at you, the metaphorical bullets, and trying to get out of the way. And when we see that it's happening for us, we can do a little less dodging. Doesn't mean that we want to get hit by the things that are being hurled our direction, but we understand how they fold into a bigger picture. And maybe we don't even understand how they fold into a bigger picture. We just understand and believe that they do fold into a bigger picture. And that's, it's interesting because literally just this morning, I was thinking about this very thing, right? That even if I don't, like right now, I've got a couple of things going on in my personal life that, and I'm talking about my interior life, so that I don't understand how they're going to unfold. Like, I don't understand how it's going to happen. I don't, there are people that are going to leave my life and people that are going to come into my life. And it was very clear to me this morning that I don't know how that's going to happen, but apparently it's already happening and I don't even know how it's happening. So that's the reframe, or actually that's a lot more than what you wanted to know about the reframe, but that's the part of the reframe. And we give thanks and we're in a space of gratitude when we know that something is for us, even when we can't see how it's going to be for us, or even frankly why it's going to be for us. And sometimes we have to get a little ways down the road, and like to use the driving a car metaphor, we get, to the next leg of our journey, or maybe even 2 or 3 legs down the path of our journey. And we look in the rearview mirror and we're like, oh, now I see. Now I see how that played a role in where I'm at today. And I also see how I couldn't be where I am today if that event in my life hadn't happened. So these things will occur to us, and it's important that when they do, that we kind of hit the pause button and we take that in, because that is guidance as well. That is your guide saying, hey, you know what? We have been guiding you the whole way. That's them. Remember last week I had the story about being turned around on the column. It was like a rock column, and my guides came up. They hugged me and they turned me around and said, look how far you've come. Right? I was in a particularly low spot. I think I shared this with you last week. A particularly low spot. Things were challenging. Not in my outward life. Like, my outward life is beautiful most of the time. I'm very, very fortunate. And I'm very, very grateful that is the case. And sometimes my interior life can get a little out of whack. And last week was one of those times. I was kind of moving through some big energy, and I did talk about that, moving through that big energy, mislabeling that energy. And it literally took my guides saying, turn around and look how far you've come. You don't see the next step because it hasn't been presented to you. And you're anxious about that. But look how far you've come, and we are your bridge. And your guides are your bridge as well. And so when you are facing that out of control feeling, whether it's internal or it's a chaotic set of events or atmosphere and environment in your life, letting go, first of all, acknowledging that, yeah, this is chaotic, it's out of control, there's really not much I can do about it. I'm going to acknowledge that it is chaotic, and I'm going to let it go. And I'm going to let the force that's greater than me handle everything. Okay? I'm going to resist taking it back too. That's a problem for me. I like to take it back. I guess I'm a little bit of a control freak in that way. And then we move into the reframe phase. So we get away from that initial shock of something that we interpret. It's just an experience, but we interpret it as something that's happening to us. It's something that is harming us, offending us in some way. And we can reframe that based on our own past experience. So I would encourage you, if you're going through this and you're in the middle of the feeling that it's happening to me, because this is a very normal human feeling, right? Congratulations, you're human if you're having this feeling. We have the opportunity to kind of just get a little bit of space in there and say, maybe ask ourselves some penetrating questions about, well, when was the last time I felt this way? When was the last time something happened to me that I felt was harming me and was happening to me? And how did that actually play out in my life? And are there learnings? Are there things that I've taken forward in my life today that are serving me, that came out of the time and the learnings in that situation that I found myself in? And just test it out. If you're not keeping a journal will always help with this. So my journal often reminds me of many things along this nature. But test it out Because once we can kind of get that reframe done, we can begin to move from something happening to us to something actually happening for us. We open up that space for gratitude. And that is when really things begin to get some speed and some momentum to them. So, and again, this gratitude card says, fill me with gratitude for all you give. May I be a vehicle for you wherever I go, right? May I learn to trust in the process of feeling the chaos, letting it go, reframing the something happening to me as to something happening for me, and step into that space of gratitude. And your whole perspective will change. And here's the thing. Everything that we go through in our lives, right? You can call it a spiritual awakening, you can call it an up-leveling, you can call it ascension, whatever you want to call it. It is still the same thing. And it is one thing. And it is a shift in your perception. And that's it. So, spoiler alert, everything in life is about how we perceive it to be. Now, there's a whole lot behind that statement, and that's a lot of what we're going to be talking about once we kind of change the format of this channel, but that'll be late this year at the earliest when we do that. But there are some things happening that I think, if we can very simply understand 2 or 3 different key things, our lives are going to be very, very different. And so one of them is acknowledging the shit that's happening around you, right? Call it what it is, let it go, reframe, and be in a state of gratitude. That's it for today, chickadees. Have a wonderful day. Let me know if this is resonating with you in the comments. And I love you all, and we'll see you back here tomorrow. Mwah.